edition where we're coming and zooming in really, really fast. We're using a new version of Wirecast today. We've finally done the big change and running Wirecast 14, so this could be an interesting show. Anyway, I'm Greg and...
I'm John. Hi, everybody. Great to have you back at the show again. Lots of great news this week. A lot happening out there, so hope everyone's staying safe and turning lots of blades.
Yeah, absolutely. And later on, we've got a really cool article at the end of the show, which is a pneumatic drone.
Yeah.
That
there
one,
you go.
I don't know how to describe it, but it's going to be interesting to look at. But before we do go into any of the news stories, can we just go full screen to John again?
Oh, look. Yes, look at my... How's that?
How's that indeed? This is John's visiting at a friend's house he's your manager?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we have the music business together. And I think maybe this was a post that was taken down from one of our gigs. And so I decided to have it in the background today. You know, I'm in the background and the foreground. What can you do?
Yeah, and for those who didn't know, John is in the music business, but of course he is a drummer, so he's the one who makes the noise, not the music.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
I'm the noisemaker.
Yeah. Anyway, before we get into anything, let's start at the beginning. Today is our Global Fly-In Day, where we invite you to fly and to become a part of the show, to be the star. We've got no one prepared or lined up or anything, so if you want to go and fly today, you can get your bird up in the air. You can send us the video feed and we'll be switching and cutting to that. Now, Lloyd will go and provide some instructions in the chat room, but the simple and quick way to do that, let me do that now actually. Here's the quick way. I'll put those two commands in there and Nightbot will send all of that information. The video from your DJI Go 4, you need to send to rtmp.dronebook.org/live/your-key. You can make up whatever key you like, send that in, and you'll be live on the show today. Also, one other thing, we are also live today on Ready Set Drone. Now, Kelly isn't available today. He's currently on the road between point A and point B. But he said hi. He said he'll be in the chat as much as he can in between, but no guarantees how much connectivity he'll have. If you're watching on Ready Set Drone, Lloyd will pop a link in there so you can chat with us over here as well.
That's great. That's why we're an hour early this week.
We're an hour early just so we can have some of you people flying in different parts of the world. We don't have anyone ready to fly yet, but as soon as we do, we'll bring that up. So while we're waiting for some people to join, it's time for the news. Now, as always, Ausbuy Drone News is brought to you by AirData UAV. Is your drone healthy or is it about to surprise you on your next flight? Don't wait to find out. Discover under the hood information and review the early signs of problems before you take off again. Use the discount code AusbuyDrone20 for a 20% discount. And don't forget, you can actually get a free version of it. You don't have to pay for it. You can go and use the free version and try it out and see what you think. There is a link to all of that info in the description. You use it, don't you, John?
Absolutely, yeah. I've got a number of our guys all use it now. It's a fantastic tool for keeping all of your records and having a look at the airplane, especially with your battery monitoring. It's just wonderful looking under the hood at that stuff. So, yeah, check it out. And it's a great service.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, okay. So we're using the new version of Wirecast and it's doing some fun things with Titler. We're going to have a look at that later. Let me see if I can turn all that off.
We can manage it anyway.
There we go. Hopefully we've got it turned off. Now, let's get on to our
Wire
first...
crash strikes again.
Okay, well, someone's got to be the first one to try it, and unfortunately it's us. But let's start with our first story. CASA needs our help, your help, to find a rogue drone near Sydney Airport. They put out a message looking to the community for help to find a drone that was spotted by pilots coming into land at Sydney Airport. The drone appeared to be blue in colour and 1 metre by 1 metre in size. The drone appeared to be flying in the Granville or North Parramatta area at around 4,000 feet on Monday, July 20, between 2 and 3 o'clock in the afternoon. They suggested the drone may have been flying a commercial operation of some sort. Now,
I got to laugh a bit. Has anyone ever spotted a 1 metre drone from 4,000 feet from the ground and see what that looks like? Yeah, there's some problems with the mass on it. I really don't know. I've seen the cry out for people to report this drone, blue in colour, 1 metre across. Are we looking at another plastic bag? Perhaps there's enough information to suggest there was an aircraft at 4,000 feet. Don't know how anyone's going to help with that one. The aircraft's just not visible from that height, I believe. It'd be very, very difficult to see even a Cessna 150, at 4,000 feet. It's pretty small.
Yeah. John, I got a question for you, right? We've spoken before about the idea of having a dash cam mandatory on planes. And even then, the question is, will it see it? And I was thinking about this the other day. Why not put a Raspberry Pi in the nose cone of a plane that's going and listening to the frequencies that a drone is going to be talking on and communicating, and keeping that as a black box recording of the RF that's happened, and a pilot who sights a drone can preserve the RF data, and then someone can actually say yes or no. What a novel concept.
It's a novel concept. One of the stumbling blocks is fitting something to an aircraft. If you know anything about the way things are approved, even if you want to put a dash cam on the outside of an aircraft and fix it to the strut or the wing, there are all, people do it, but to do it legitimately and legally, it's got to be what they call a TSO'd device, which means technical service order. And so the receiver that you're putting on your aircraft has to prove itself that it's not interfering with other electronics in the aircraft. And it's a very expensive and laborious process. I know Airbus have photogrammetry cameras, and a lot of the Google Earth stuff is being updated by their project these days. So in capturing that stuff, again, so difficult to see an aircraft. The other day I tried to pick up DHC-2 Beaver. He was at 500 feet. I was just trying to get the shot. The airplane was right beside me. I couldn't still see it, the aircraft. So there are a lot of problems. The RF is the solution, of course, which you're quite right. But then again, that technology is changing too. Who knows whether the aircraft was producing any RF. So anyway, carry on. It's going to be a bit of a find. It'll be interesting to watch that story unfold. But I don't think there's anything there for us yet.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, before we go into the next story, just again a reminder, we're doing the news, but we want you to be the stars of the show today. Get your drone in the air and send us a video feed, and we'll put it up on the screen. We'd love to see that. Our second story right now is... Oh, what's happened here? This is last week's title. So we've changed our software, and we've got last week's... I'll turn this all off, because it's just going to get in the way. And we saw it already doing some weird stuff on the screen, so let's just make it go away. Our second story of the day today is a UK drone crash. A DJI Matrice M600 Pro was about to start a construction site survey. The drone was an automated flight at the time, and it had specific waypoints programmed for the job. Takeoff was normal, but at about 65 feet above ground, things turned a little bit sour. A GPS compass error suddenly caused the aircraft to return to ADI mode, which of course requires manual flight. The pilot and observer began frantically trying to initiate a return to home, but the drone was drifting away with the wind, and soon it was out of sight and heading towards residential homes. Now, we've got a couple of photos there. Let's just look at the second one again for a brief moment. This is showing the flight path of the drone, where it was going, and the third one shows the actual movement into the residential area, the third photo. John.
Okay, well, there's a couple of things there, isn't there? Obviously, the aircraft's gone into ADI mode, and we know that aircraft can do that. First of all, the 600 is really an earlier version of the DJI flight controllers, and so you're less likely to have that on the latest generation of autopilots. But it does happen, the suggestion of GPS blockers and so forth and jammers being used. What happened here was, of course, that the pilot wasn't able to recover the aircraft in ADI mode as it drifted away. And so...
And the interesting thing is that in the report, they actually say it was unexpected.
Yes.
Now, from a flight training perspective, you've got to expect the unexpected. I know this happened to me once, but even before it happened to me, I had said to myself as part of my own preparation for flying jobs, is that I'm going to switch it to ADI mode manually to simulate what would happen if it happened in an uncontrolled manner and fly it home, and do that on a semi-regular basis.
Absolutely.
They weren't prepared for it.
It has to be practice. Yeah, you do it. We encourage our guys to practice an ADI mode return to home as often, at least once every 10 flights or so, just to keep your chops in. And it's easy to do if you're out flying and you've got a Phantom where you can switch to ADI mode quite easily. A bit harder on the later Mavics, of course, where they don't have that selection. You can hack that. But, if you've got an ADI mode selection, practice it and keep your chops together. So the interesting thing about, and I'm going to bring into some of the rumours about the Mavic 3, is that they're looking at a return to home without GPS, and they're going to use the vision positioning system. Now, this is just a rumour at the moment, but it's always been on people's minds about the possibility of using the VPS, the cameras that are recording what's below the aircraft, to give it a return to home function without GPS. So, the technology is going to solve this. That'll be a software thing, and you're going to see that happening less likely. Having said all of that, that's a big aircraft to have fall in someone's backyard. It really is.
Yeah, so it didn't actually fall from what I gather. It continued to drift at a sustained height and crashed into a building because the terrain was going like that.
Rising. Yeah, sure.
Just briefly, I can see that someone is trying to send a stream
45678.
45678. Okay, that I was wondering what the stream key was. That looked like some other ID, and I was trying to work out what to do with it. But let me go and bring that in, John. While I'm getting that stream in, can you tell us a joke?
I'll tell you. Actually, I really want to finish off one little tip for our flyers, that if you ever find yourself in a situation where your aircraft's gone to ATI mode and you've still got telemetry. So here's a trick. If you turn the controller off and the flight controller in the aircraft senses that the link is gone and there is GPS there for any reason, then it will go into return to home mode. So sometimes if you perhaps a little far away, struggling with the wind, and you're trying to do an ATI mode return to home, have a look at the telemetry. See if the GPS, or first of all, toggle the switch for positioning mode to ATI mode. So that's the very first thing you do, is toggle that switch, see if you can re-engage the GPS. And a last resort is to turn the controller off and hope that it would trigger a automated return to home. Just a thing to think about, and another thing to practice again. So it's not a joke, but it might leave you with egg on your face.
Chris says, Chris says the RTMP isn't working.
Chris, try again, because obviously 45678 came up on my stream, but I'm getting an error message from that.
Yeah.
I'm getting 0 bits per second.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So I can't put that up on the screen.
Do we know where Chris is? We haven't got a feed yet, have we?
No, we haven't got a feed. Was that Chris with that 45678?
No, that was Brad Alston.
Okay.
Now
Brad,
now he's asking for a key, and I told him to make his own key up.
Make your own key up. It doesn't matter what it is, as long as it's unique. We don't want to have two people using the same key, otherwise it gets very confusing. And as soon as we get it on the screen, I'll bring it up. The one from Brad is not working. Chris, try again. Common mistake is if you cut and paste it and you've got a carriage return or a space at the end of the key, that can sometimes cause some problems as well. Let's move on to our third story while I'm waiting for those both to come back to us. Drones deployed during Hayward police standoff, finding a gunman sleeping in his own bed. Now, this story was on Ken's show the other day, but unlike Ken, we do have video of the gunman waking up and getting disturbed in his bed, wondering what on earth there's a drone flying around in his apartment. Not really, but we didn't have any video, so I did look for something anyway. But here's the story. There was a standoff between police and an armed suspect that ended peacefully with the help of drones and a robot. The sheriff's office used drones to approach the home, but officers were not able to spot the man through the windows. Other pocket drones were deployed by officers inside the home along with a robot to allow controllers to see inside the rooms. Police then found the man was sleeping in his bed. He was not injured, and police were able to communicate with him and get him to come outside.
Interesting story.
Very interesting story. I mean, I've heard of people wanting to use drones for tactical advantage in a law enforcement perspective before, but I haven't heard of them trying to find someone asleep in bed. Amusing.
Yeah, it is. I mean, again, the possibilities are endless as we get more and more sophisticated tech. So who knows?
Absolutely. I'm looking at 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and I think I've got some data. Let me see if I can. There we go. I'll swap that into there. And I'll send that shot live, and then we'll
Let's see how we go
over here.
Oh,
There we
yeah.
go. So welcome again to Oz by Drone Live, and just a reminder to Brad, if you can hear us, try and keep us on your headphones or something like that. It'll be very hard to communicate because there'll be a delay between you and us. But yeah, go fly and you talk to us and we'll see what we can see.
I wonder where we are. That's why I was like to know where we flying. Here we go. Anybody guess the aeroplane from that sound?
Mavic Air 2 or Mavic
Yeah.
Air original.
Sounds like an air. Yeah, I reckon
Yeah.
that's close, Lloyd.
We got some nice cloud in the background there.
Yeah, he was just typing up. It was starting to rain on him, so he's getting close to rain.
I got a
there-
good clean feed of the vision.
yeah, excellent feed.
And just on that topic, we are using the new version of Wirecast, so thank you that it's working stably so far. Just the titles we got to fix up, but everything else has been working well. Just on that topic, we are using the new version of Wirecast, so thank you that it's working stably so far. Just the titles.
Oh, I can hear the echo back.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
the delay is pretty short.
So Brad, you can hear us. Do you want to just describe to us where you are, what you're seeing, and so on?
Oop. It's not frozen because we're still getting.
Currently flying above my house at about 200 feet, pointing west from Varina, Virginia, right outside of Richmond. And you're seeing DuPont lights. I'm sure a lot of people have heard of DuPont, the Spruance plant, right outside of Richmond, Virginia. It is raining on me right now, so I probably shouldn't be up in the air. So, sorry if y'all are hearing the background noise. I've got a tablet running over nearby so I could see the stream.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. So those strobe lights are the DuPont lights, are they? Well, that's the factory in front of us.
Sounds like it. You know, I was thinking about the name of this segment. Like,
I'm going to move a little bit more closer or towards DuPont. I'm probably about a mile away from DuPont, as you can see the lights there. I'm going to
Yep.
keep the bird in sight though.
Of course. Fly legal, fly safe. I was thinking about another name for this segment once a month. Maybe we've got a show in Australia called Getaway. Do you have a similar show in the US, Lloyd?
I'm just about 1,000 feet away from me. I'm going to raise it up a little bit higher so I can see it.
What's your show called? Or what did you
Getaway.
say that show was?
Getaway.
Getaway. I'm thinking of making this segment called Getaway Live. It's
Yeah, we
like
could rip
virtual
that off.
travel around
yeah,
the world to
okay.
different places, and yeah.
I'm going to spin around a little bit and point towards Richmond, Virginia.
Oh, look at that.
Now,
There's a
in the
low
distance
cloud
there,
base
you
too, huh?
guys, I don't know if you can see it clearly or not, but that's Richmond, Virginia. I'm
Yeah, we can see that.
probably, I don't know, 6 or 7 miles from Richmond at this point.
Yeah. It's a little bit low light there, obviously. Maybe if you could point it down and get rid of some of the cloud cover, we might be able to get some more contrast in the lower
And
part of the
unfortunately,
frame.
guys, I'm going to have to pull this bird back because it's starting to rain really
Okay.
hard.
Oh, don't do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bring
But
it
you can
back.
see the storm clouds there.
Well, we could keep it flying. We'd love to see what happens next. Sorry.
Ken, on Ken's show, he does, would you ride it? Maybe we can do, would you crash it? Maybe
What's the
not.
machine? What's the aircraft? Did I miss that?
I don't know if I don't know what he said.
So bring him back to us, but tell
There
us,
you go.
what are you flying? And if you could also try and tilt it down a little bit so we can get some contrast. Get the cloud out of shot on your way back.
I have the, this is the Mavic Air. I can barely hear you. My tablet's quite a ways away from me, but that's a Mavic.
Yeah. You got it, Lloyd.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought I recognized that buzz.
Yeah. It seems like a higher RPM than the other larger airplanes.
Okay. So just to everyone else who's watching again, wherever you are, whatever you've got in terms of a drone, you can send us a drone feed. Now, it can be an RTMP feed. Now, Lloyd, if anyone wants to send us a feed other than an RTMP feed, and I know some other channels have been doing FPV flying as well, I'll post a second rendezvous link in a little while. And if you can just keep on resharing that, this will be a different link than the one that everyone else is using. But we'll just stick with that until we get down on the ground.
Yeah, we want to see what happens.
Yeah, so I'm going to head back, guys. It's starting to pour down rain. I don't know if you can still hear me or see the feed. I'm working my way back. I'm about 500 feet away from my location, 250 in the air.
I wonder what the
I'm
cloud
seeing
base
the
is.
bird now, so I'm going to bring her on down.
Okay. Let's cut away from that and we'll go back to the studio and do a little bit more of today's drone news. But good to see our first flyer up there today.
Yeah, thank you. That's wonderful.
That was Brad Alston. And again, Chris, if you were trying to get in before, that just goes to show you can get your feed in today. It is working. So just make sure you've got the RTMP URL correct.
That's a morning shot, isn't it, Lloyd, from Richmond, Virginia? Or an evening?
No,
No,
it's,
that'd
it's
be an
evening.
evening.
Yeah,
Evening shot. Sorry, of course.
yeah. It's
Yep.
it's let's see, Richmond. I think it's about 8:30 p.m. their time.
Okay.
I can't remember if they're Eastern time or if they're Central time at 7:30 p.m. If it's Eastern time, that'd be 8:30 in the evening. So it's
Yeah, sure.
right at
Right on the end
of
of,
dusk. Yeah,
yeah.
Daylight saving. Yep.
yeah.
Okay, so let's move to our next story while we're waiting. So
Dennis
Western
says it's
Australian-
8:30 or 8:23 in Richmond.
8:23 in Richmond. Okay. Again, just a quick little reminder. If you do want to fly, Lloyd can post the instructions again in the chat on AusByDrone. If you're across on Ready Set Drone, you can definitely still continue to watch it there, but we'll be chatting more on the AusByDrone channel and have the instructions there. It's hard to be in lots of places at once. Anyway, our next piece of news. Western Australian police are purchasing more than 40 drones, probably in response to catching the guy sleeping in America. Over the next 12 months, 60 drone pilots will be trained and 40 DJI Australia and New Zealand drones. Why do they say Australia and New Zealand drones will be deployed across metropolitan and regional areas? These drones will be used for emergencies such as land or marine searches, but also to help with complex investigations into serious incidents like a gunman sleeping in bed, including serious and fatal crashes.
Yeah, looks like an M200 there. 40 of those would be a bit of coin, wouldn't it? Huh? Setting
Yeah.
it up.
It would be a slightly expensive spend on that, but I think, law enforcement are using drones a lot more, and there are also some references in the article where I pulled that from to them already using the Enterprise series drones during COVID. So they're already using that for crowd control and so forth. But they're getting
control.
some more. Yeah.
Mm.
Okay,
cool.
let's have a look, see if anyone's coming in. No, we don't have anyone at the moment. Okay, next on the list we've got is the South China Sea crisis. China is accelerating its development of its militarized drones and autonomous attack technology across the Asia-Pacific region. A Beijing-based military analyst Zhao Chenming said drones will be so convenient and cheap. Let's have a look. Now, this clip accompanied the story where we found it, but I think they've put this together from some stock footage.
小飞机两架请示查证。可以，你们语音外逼呢？明白。
This is China Air Force. Attention. You are not flying in our operation airspace, which may jeopardize our air safety. Identify yourself immediately.
So that was the clip that we found accompanying this story. But the analyst said drones will be so convenient and cheap when South China Sea claimants want to check out remote reefs and waters compared to warships and planes. Mr. Zhao added that China would be using the current demand for drone technology to its advantage. So they're actually saying quite loud and proud that, you know, the South China Sea, they want to claim it, and anyone else that's out there, they're going to go and start monitoring it with drones.
Mm. Yeah, well, I don't think there's any new news in that idea. One of the interesting things is the idea that they might be weaponized, and you know, there's a big line in the sand there, particularly in Australia. I'm not sure about the US. I was going to ask Lloyd, but we're a long way from any type of legislation that would allow you to weaponize. Even the military is not allowed to weaponize an unmanned aircraft here yet, and we reckon it might be another 10 years before they're comfortable with that kind of technology. Of course, you have your a large weaponized aircraft that are operating in the States, but I don't know if they're working on over domestic territory. Are they, Lloyd?
No, they're not. No, they're going to keep the weaponization of drones, I think, strictly to the military. So,
yeah, and are they allowed? And they're not allowed to fly over domestic USA territory. Is that right?
They're not supposed to be using to hit a target inside the United States. They do fly over on certain deployments, but that's for practice purposes. These pilots have to have somewhere to practice and to launch rockets, and so they're usually out of some Air Force base in one of their target, one of their areas for where their targets are at, like down in Arizona and places like that. But as far as actually flying and using them, it's illegal to use them inside the United States against U.S. citizens.
Yeah. Oh, that would make sense.
That's what we got snipers for.
Yeah. Right. We got a feed coming through, I can see.
We've got a feed, and it's someone, Justin is showing up there, but it appears to be very, very glitchy. It's 1.3 megabits per second. Just try and get in the air, Justin.
Here we go.
See if we can. Oh, there we go. What have we got? Now, if someone could try and message Justin in chat and just find out where he's based and what he's flying there.
He might not be able to type a response.
Yeah. Let me see if I can get some audio up. Nah, we'll keep that up while we sit here and chat about China in the background, but I'll just keep his audio down low and see if that clears up at all.
I was going to read, Dennis Lovelady was saying, let's see if I can see what he said about that. Scroll it back up now. I lost it. Oh, let's see. He had something to say about that, and I completely lost it.
Here we got some audio coming through. Still a bit sketchy on the video.
Yeah. Okay. Dennis said to keep in mind this is not China saying that. It's someone outside of the Chinese government. Should not take that as anything a nation is going to do or considering. So
I think that's a fair point.
Yeah.
I think that's a very, very fair point.
And
It's
he
not
does
China,
have family
it's-
there too.
Yeah, it's not the Chinese government saying that, but it is a Beijing-based military analyst.
Okay,
Now-
that could be that could be anything. Yeah.
I know, and we've got the name of the guy, Zhao Chenming. We can certainly do more research on that guy, but there's certainly been a lot of back and forth on the South China Sea.
Yep, for sure.
By the way, a couple of quick tips for people that want to come and fly with us today and be part of the stream. If you are going to fly, don't tether your mobile data from, let's say, an iPad to a mobile phone. You're better off flying directly and controlling with your mobile phone, because that way it doesn't have to jump through another device. Sometimes this type of intermittent signal is the kind of thing that can happen if you go from an iPad to a mobile phone, for example.
Yeah, just a packets problem.
Yeah. So again, I don't know if you can hear us over there, Justin, but when you've got a moment, can you tell us where you are, what you're flying, and what we're looking at? Yeah, it's going to be difficult to get that kind of feedback from you.
Yep.
Yeah,
We're
let's
getting
cut
the
back
odd
to
shot.
We're getting a couple of odd shots there in between. When we do this next time in a month from now, I think we're going to have to move maybe even an hour earlier because of the changes in sun patterns in the US.
Yeah, because the sun's going down a little earlier each day. By September, we'll be in a fall pattern.
Yeah, let's go back to the studio for now, and we'll come back to that feed later if it cleans up a little bit. Our next story at the moment is drone fishing is the latest technology to attract new crowds, with the sport becoming more accessible to novice fishermen. The Facebook group Perth Drone Fishing has acquired 2,000 members in 3.5 years, with enthusiasts from South Africa, Europe and Asia, highlighting the rising popularity of the sport.
Hello, all right. This is the quadricopter. It's from South Africa. It's the new EX1 drone. This has got it's called a sling rig bait drop system. So it hooks on there. When you want to drop the bait, the servo spins around and drops the bait. So with drone fishing, we drop baits out 300 to 500 metres offshore. With a normal rod, like a normal surf rod, Hamish is using a surf rod, there's too much flex in the tip. So the drone rods have got a stiffer tip. It allows us to set the hooks at distance, but also it's extremely strong. So if we do hook a big shark or a stingray, we can get it in very, very quickly, get it off the hook. But also having a stronger rod, you don't use your back so much.
So this is a much bigger video than we're actually going to look at today. We're just going to skip and choose a few bits. But certainly that's them going out and flying and taking the bait out. Now that's some decent sized bait that they're flying below that drone there.
Yeah, that's a good sized bait.
Have you seen that particular aircraft before, John?
No, I haven't seen that one. But in my mind, I'm figuring, what happens if you got your aircraft out there and you drop the bait and you hook something up straight away? You got a drone to bring home. I suppose you could use a return to home and get
absolutely.
fishing. Yeah, of course. So no, it looks like a lot of fun. Something I haven't tried, but yeah, I'm thinking it might be a fun thing to do. I like fishing, so it'd be good to try that.
Well, I'm going to get you to tap dance again because I've got another stream coming in. So, what can you tell us while I go and bring that up?
Well, I was going to mention today, a bit of buzz around the Mavic 3. And, the rumour mill's been going for quite a while on this aircraft. We do have a leaked photograph of DJI having an event on the 26th of September. So that might be a clue. We're going to keep an eye on that and see what the Mavic 3 might look like. A more streamlined fuselage, some new tech, more processing, the longer battery life, all sorts of stuff on promise there.
Let's talk about that in the context. There was something you and I spoke about before the show today.
Yep.
We'll just continue to watch what's coming in from our live feed. And this one is Yorkie 1234556. I don't know who that is, but if they...
Hey, Greg,
have you got any...
Can you hear me or not?
There
we got him.
Chris
Yeah,
Hope.
there he is.
That's
Hope.
Chris Hope.
Yeah. Just while Chris is doing a quick little fly around there, the story we looked at earlier today with Matrice going and flying into some property when it was in ADI mode, etc. You mentioned that there's something rumoured to be in the new Mavic.
Yeah, so I did mention that when we were a little bit earlier about using the
Everybody's
vision
having a good
positioning
evening.
for return to home. I'm getting audio now, so I'm gonna let Chris jump in and have a quick chat.
Wait. Good stuff. Brad had a nice one.
There we go. Some nice
Looking good.
end of day footage. Oh,
Somebody shooting
Well,
at
it's
my
not-
drone. All right.
I heard a gunshot. Did I hear a gunshot?
I heard a gunshot.
That ain't right. Somebody shooting at my drone. That's wrong.
Is that is wrong?
Yeah.
Make sure they're not shooting at you, mate.
Fireworks. If you can believe it.
Oh, was it?
In August.
Fireworks?
That was last month.
I've never heard a firework like that before. That sounded like a shotgun to me. Well, this could be
Loud,
one of
man.
one of the great videos of all time.
Well, at least he'll have worldwide witnesses.
Yeah, look at that. Absolutely. You got a lot of witnesses watching this.
Was that another softer bang I heard?
I'm not sure.
So, Chris,
Yeah.
if you can hear us, do you want to tell us whereabouts you are, what we're looking at, what you're flying?
Oh, y'all did hear it. Okay, I can see the chat now. It scared me too. Hey, Jay. Man, they're shooting fireworks. That's about the fourth one I've heard, and they're loud.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Loud when they leave, and they're loud when they show the light.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm in Athens, Texas. Thank you, Dennis.
And what are you flying, Chris? There's a little bit of a lag there.
Okay, yeah, I'm in Texas, y'all. I fly on the Sundays with the Sunrise guys. Usually fly from the lake. Sometimes I fly from up here. That's the lake there behind my other place.
Beautiful.
That's my pond right there. Go fly over it right quick. I've done a sunrise and sunset up here before. Sunset for Greg one time, 2 or 3 months ago. Turn the camera down. That's my pond. Compared to
Hey.
my neighbor's lake.
That's your pond, and the neighbour's got that.
Yeah.
And if you look out there, you can see where they do jumps and stuff. They got a cable that pulls them across the water, and the kids can not fly, but do their wakeboarding and stuff on that.
Yeah.
Right there in the
Cool.
center of the screen is a ramp.
Okay, very nice. And
He's over there. I don't think he'll care too much.
let's have a quick look over there, and also a
Get a
quick
little
look over
altitude.
at our sunset there.
Do a little swing back to the left here, and a little better view of the stuff. They got a cable
What's it?
system. It pulls them across the water.
Yeah.
They got
Is that a
jump.
private
They can
water ski
do
setup?
like a slalom, ride down it, and then bounce off of it, get in the water and jump, and all that good stuff. And there's a little island. Like
Wow.
the guy told me he had a teepee built out there on it.
That's cool.
But I didn't call him and tell him I was going to fly over his pond, so I ain't going to go over there and see him. But he's a nice guy, really nice neighbor.
Oh, he probably
Very
enjoys
And
the
he's
photos
cut hay
you
off his
capture.
place. That's what that brown is. And my place is full of goat weeds. The young man's got the pasture leased. He is going to clean it up. We'll head back up the hill.
Nice feed.
And I'm sitting in the backyard.
Mate, that's the life,
Right.
sitting in the backyard there.
Yeah, look at
There.
that.
Fly over here in the front.
Nice place
Sunset's
to
in about an
fly.
hour.
Sunset still in an hour.
Turn the EV down where you can at least see a little bit of it. It's too bright.
Yeah.
Need an ND 128 filter.
Yeah.
All right.
That's it. That's
What's
my
the
place.
aircraft, Chris? What are you
Just go
flying?
fly. How about that? I had it out. I had it out a pretty good piece of the day. I had 28 spotters checking me out, make sure I didn't get too far away.
Okay.
What are you
Dennis,
flying,
yes,
Chris?
I can see that. It's just too bright, man. I'm flying a Phantom 4.
Okay. Good,
Thanks,
good.
Brad. And I've got the volume toned down, so I can't, so y'all don't hear double talk. So I'm trying to catch up in the chat. Oh, you bet,
Yeah.
Brad. You bet.
So this is absolutely wonderful. Comment from
There is,
Sunrise Media. The bird flies so
That's
smoothly.
1,000
Indeed,
foot
it does.
out and 300 foot.
Chris does this all the time, so he's actually become kind of professional at doing this kind of stuff.
Yeah, Brad
Yeah,
helped
that's
me.
good.
Thank you, Brad. I had a different RTMP address. It had a letter A in it that it didn't need. That's why I couldn't get it to work. Brad sent me his that he used, and it worked fine. So I took the A out, and it worked good. Thank you,
That's
Brad.
good.
Get the guy that shot at me, Dennis. They're over arguing in the front yard right now. I think I'll leave them alone.
Only in the
Oh,
I can
United
hear. Hang on,
Dog
hang on.
now.
Lloyd and John, just quiet for a minute. Let's listen. I heard it a minute ago.
Let's see here. Take y'all to there's a cemetery. Here we go. Called Rome Cemetery. I'll fly that far out. Then we'll turn around and fly back. The only bad thing about flying back is the sun. But it's trying to cloud up. It's been cloudy all afternoon. Not cloudy, but hazy. But yeah, there's a cemetery. Right there, Rome Cemetery. And a little old church. They have church there about once a year. They have a big reunion. And they have like a
Everyone's
cleanup day and
everyone's
visit
dying to get
and
there.
eat. But that's about as far as I'm going to go. Let's turn it around.
I haven't got my soundboard active, Lloyd. Have you got a?
As you can see, we got ponds and lakes everywhere.
Oh,
There's
right now
another
you're over the
big body
you're
of
over
water
the dead
behind
centre of town.
the one
I can
behind
see
here.
The dead center of town. Oh.
it. Sorry.
John, your jokes are killing me.
Boom, boom.
Last time I did this, I had to fly it backwards, back home.
I can tell
Yeah,
you how
Brad,
many
thanks for the help,
are buried
buddy.
in there.
I appreciate it. That worked good. Anyway, Greg, man, somebody else is on. Pop over, man.
That's nice and smooth. You
I
can't
appreciate you letting me
complain.
fly, man.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
great.
It
good
was
to see
lovely to
John,
have Chris
Brian.
up there.
Much obliged.
We'll cut back to the studio now, and there we go.
Fantastic. That's great.
That's absolutely beautiful. I'm still
Yeah.
watching it, and actually, hang on, let me put it back. The sun. Oh, he just tilted down. Oh, it was just a nice. He's
Thank you,
tilted
Greg.
it down.
Bring it down for a landing, man, so and you can take a
Oh.
selfie.
We'll just talk while you're doing that. You know,
Yeah.
there's no reason
it
to
out.
cut away.
It's not
Unless
like
you-
anybody really wants to see you, Greg.
All right, I'll bring it back up here and
That's
land it.
right. Yeah, let's have a look.
Thanks, Lloyd.
And you know, there's a lot of people watching that probably wish they lived in a place where you could fly like that. Lots of open space, and you know, but you know, people that live in an apartment in a city that you know the airplanes. You got to go for a long drive. I'm lucky too. I can fly in my backyard anytime off the boat, and lots of open space. But you really appreciate that when you can fly in places like that. And obviously you know it well because you fly regularly. So
Yeah, John,
You know-
I'm blessed too, bud.
yeah, absolutely. Here we
And
go.
here we are coming in for a landing. We're waiting on anyone else who does want to fly. As always, you're welcome.
Yay! Give us a wave.
Hey, everybody.
Yeah, man. Spin it round. Hop it on top of the box, it looks like. No, next door. Oh, you're going to land it on the box. There you go.
Maybe.
Maybe.
That's always exciting, isn't it? Oh, yeah.
Nice piloting, nice landing.
There we go. You can put it on the box. Good work.
There it is.
There you go.
Yeah. Excellent.
Yeah. Good job, man. Good job.
Okay. Thank you very much, Chris, for
Yeah.
sharing your flight with us
Absolutely.
today. Anyone else who wants to fly? If you need help getting set up, we've posted some links in the chat. But if you need some help, just talk in the chat and we'll make sure we can make it easy for you. Okay, let's move on to our next news story for the moment. So, drone footage of NASA's space launch. Well, this is not the launch per se, but it's drone footage of the solid rocket booster segments arriving at the Kennedy Space Center. These segments will be assembled into boosters that will be later mated with the rockets. And it was just some nice drone footage, and I thought, yeah, let's throw that into the lineup for today.
Yeah.
Just a short one.
Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, those rockets are ultimately drones with a kind of a different control system.
Pretty much. Pretty
Okay.
much.
The next one, this is a company that we've heard about crops in the past that get sprayed with herbicides and fertilizers. The Aero Seeder is a little bit different, however, in that, as you might have guessed, it disperses seeds that might otherwise be difficult to plant. Let's check it out.
Off in 3, 2, 1.
Now, this video is quite long, so we don't get to see a lot of stuff in it because, you know, it's not a marketing video. This is just real footage that they've taken. But if you want to check it out and watch the longer video, go and have a look in the description for our show today. We're just going to skip through a few segments and share a few little chunks of it. But
It's a great use of drones for seeding, of course, because the device you can see on the bottom there actually propels the seed or the seedling down into the ground. One of the things that makes a difference is being able to inject, if you like, the seed down under the surface. And so, yeah, I've had a look at a couple of these seeding pods now, and again, just a great cost saver, time saver. And of course, you get nice straight rows. You know, you can have the aircraft fly very, very straight rows for your seeding.
absolutely. Just having a look, I don't have anyone at the moment ready to fly, so we'll move on to our next story. This one, it may be named after the most famous volleyball in history, but Wilson isn't just a great conversationalist. Hayden Brophy built the free drifting satellite buoy to see if useful science can be done with off-the-shelf hardware and on a shoestring budget. And from the looks of the data so far, Wilson is doing pretty well.
Hey guys, it's Mark and Laurie with Gables on the Go.
Hello.
And we have got something super cool for you guys today. A real special treat. We're going out on a boat today to launch a research sea buoy. This is going to be really cool. The buoy was built by a young man in Washington, a high school student, Hayden Brophy, and he put this whole thing together. And we're standing here at Castaway Restaurant and Sushi Bar, waterfront, and we're here with Bo. There's the head chef right there, Bo himself.
Hey folks, how y'all doing?
Anyway, guys, we're gonna.
So they're going to launch this drone, and we're just going to skip around a little bit and have a look again. So this is the buoy. It looks like a GPC drone case almost.
Pressure and relative humidity. It uplinks to a GPS satellite every 12 hours and gives its tracking data and all the other data points that it collects as it floats along in the Gulf Stream. And you can track that online. And I'm going to put the information here on the screen for you so you can see that. And it will also be in the description of the video below so you can follow along with Wilson and his.
We're planning on launching this here Saturday on the 8th.
Yeah. So I'll just move that down again and have a look at a few little bits. This is the actual buoy itself, yeah. Let's see if we can get the buoy in the water again. It's a really long video and I haven't had time to edit it, but if you do want to find out more about this, go to the description for today's video and you can watch the entire clip and learn more about Wilson. Now, in the meantime, I do have a new stream. So let me go and get that up while we watch the rest of that in the background. Let's just let that play.
Yeah, they really look like they're suffering for that, you know, and riding in that shabby looking boat that they're in, you know. It's like, must be rough, huh?
Yeah, tough life. Oh, here we go.
Oh, it's a little bit glitchy. Oh, I think we got a glitchy feed. Let me come back to us for a little while, and we'll come back to that as soon as we can. But what did you think of Wilson there?
Yeah, that was interesting. You know, there's a lot happening in the marine drone environment at the moment, and really good research stuff too, tracking obviously plastic in the water and other things. Well, there's another bit of plastic in the water. But, you know, there's going to be a lot of research done with these, and some of them are propelled so they can submersible and roam around. Here we go. We're getting our feed through now. Looking good. No, just jumped out again.
Yeah, let's just clear layer B. There we go. Yeah, back to John.
That's me. There I am.
Surprised. Look, we'll leave that off the screen for the moment, and hopefully it'll come back in a little while. I'm looking. It's glitching a lot. We'll see what happens with that. In the meantime, I've got one more main story of the day today, and we might talk through that while we're waiting for this to come up, or should we go to it? Is it going to come good?
We can talk over what we're getting so we can see some pieces at least.
Yeah, let's do that.
I know it's always a rough, but we like to give people a go, you know, and get your feed coming through. Anything at all. Thanks for trying. That's the way it is. It's interesting how there we go. On and off again.
So this looks like, is it a railway line that I'm seeing there? I think is it a railway line?
Yeah, it is. I think so.
Yeah. Let's do this. While we're waiting for that to either clear up, I'll read the intro to the next story, and if it's cleared up, we'll watch it, and if it hasn't, we'll go and watch the video for the next story. So from time to time, it's good to be reminded that mechanical engineering can also be art. Jose Manuel Hermano Barrio, also known as Patello. Oh, here we go. It cleared up, and then
Every time you say, here we go, then it stops.
Okay, let me continue reading. Patello is a retired naval mechanic with a love for scale model engines. I might turn the volume down at least so that I can not hear myself. Let's do that. Using only basic tools and a lathe, he has built a hexacopter display model. each propeller turned by a tiny single-cylinder motor that runs on compressed air. From the tiny components of the valve systems, the brass-framed acrylic windows in the crankcases, and the persistence of vision disc on the exhaust, the attention to detail is breathtaking. But speaking of breathtaking, let's get back to this one and see if we got... No.
It's a hit and miss.
Yeah. Let's go and play the video for this clip, and we'll see if we can, that clears up. Let's kill that one for now, and we'll go and watch the video for this pneumatic powered drone, the drone that cannot fly. So you can see some of his original blueprints there, and he's literally handcrafting the props, cutting them out. He made the initial template, cut that out, and shaped them to be correctly aerodynamic, even though it's not going to fly. Some of the different components there, he's going and cutting them as to hold the piston that's going to be attached to that when it spins. There's the airframe.
Some nice lathe work. Beautiful.
Now, this video is like 20 minutes long, but I've got a cut down version that we're looking at today. And every single person who's in this channel today, if I've ever asked you to go and subscribe to a channel, this is one of the ones that you need to go and have a look at. Go and click the link in the description. And Lloyd, I don't know if you can have a look at the description and go and copy the link into the chat, but this one is just absolutely incredible. Have a look at this.
It's not like I'm doing anything else.
Yeah, look at that. Yeah, that's some beautiful work, isn't it? I wouldn't want to get my scales out. It wouldn't be light.
Like I said, it's a non-flying aircraft.
Yeah, it's an art piece, really. It's a piece of art. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at that. I want to see it run on steam. That's just steam coming out of it. It turns the blades. That'd be cool.
What link did you want me to put up to the video itself?
Yeah, the last story, the video from the last story. Here we go.
Yeah, look. Oh, that's something else.
Now, like I said, this thing's never going to fly, but as a work of art and something, you know, associated with our hobby, it's just absolutely incredible, the workmanship that he's put into it.
A lot of engineering in that. Nice. Oh,
that's
look
his
at
name that he's got there. Yeah.
That's cool. That's very cool. The only thing I ever made with a lathe was stuff that I could sweep up off the floor. I find it very difficult work. And there's some people really, a lot of experience, of course. But I mean, that goes beyond just good lathe work. There's some great design and engineering and all of that. That's wonderful. Oh, we've got a feed. Look at that.
Oh, good.
Absolutely. So we're cutting back over to... I don't know the name of this person because he's got, I think it's his YouTube key that he's got there. Maybe I should try streaming to his channel and see what happens, and then we can work out who he is. I'm kidding.
There's the mountains. Come on, Lloyd, you can work out where that is. Can you see that? Identify those mountains.
You know, that's what this could be. We could have a game show. We could have a game show of... name that location of who it is that's flying.
Yeah.
Well, in Australia, it's a bit different. We don't have that many mountains. So, you know, if you see a mountain, you know where you are. You're beside
that
the
looks
mountains.
like it's either in California or possibly up in the Tahoe region or something like that.
They don't look like the Appalachians.
No,
That'd be
that's
my
not.
guess.
No. Yeah, no, that looks more western. Out in the western part of the United States. Appalachians are over towards Kentucky in the eastern part.
But here's a clue for those that are thinking about it: the sunlight. So we've got to be in a part of the states west, of course, because we're looking at more light.
Yeah.
And we know what the time is, so it's got to be California, doesn't it? Just purely by the light. Because Texas was a lot darker.
Yeah, it could be Colorado, though, because they're an hour behind us, but that doesn't really look like Colorado mountains to me.
The sun's still pretty high.
It could be Utah, though. That's the other thing.
With the sun that high at this time?
Yeah, 7 o'clock at night in Utah, so probably not that high. Probably closer out to California or Las Vegas or out in Arizona. I mean, Nevada.
Let me just interrupt for a brief moment. Metro Drones, thank you for the $10 super chat. Very much appreciated to buy a cup of coffee.
Oh, absolutely.
Adrian, Arizona.
So Age Ranger says no, but Dennis says Arizona. Brad's got Utah or Arizona.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To me, it looks like Utah because possibly Salt Lake area, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Now, while we're just here speculating on this, we'll let it run for a little bit longer. But I do want to say there's a link that Nightbot has just posted in the chat. Support Elliot and Nick's family. This is just a reminder for those who may be not regulars on our channel. Elliot is, how old was it?
Northern California.
Elliot's 3 or 4, and he recently had a heart transplant. And Nick's one of our family. He's part of the crew here. He's one of the regulars here. So please, if you would like to, click on the link, contribute to that GoFundMe. And again, Lloyd, if you could do me a favor and throw that link also over in the Ready Set Drone chat.
Yep.
He literally was having a heart transplant, and his father, Nick, was in the show here talking to us while his son was recovering in hospital. It's something that's a little bit special to us. Route 66 says recovery 1 drone.
Yeah, he says the Cajon Pass, and that's not Cajun Pass, that's Cajon, I think. Pass. Well, it might be Cajun Pass. I don't know if they got. I'm not that familiar with California, except I can't wait for it to fall off into the ocean when the big one hits. But other than that, that's all I know about California.
Showing your colors there.
Yeah. No, I lived there for 1 year, and that was the worst year of my life.
Oh, yeah? What part of California were you in?
I was actually at George Air Force Base in the high desert up in up above not Bartlesville. I was between I was up above San Bernardino. Yeah.
Is that the Mojave Desert?
Yeah, the Mojave Desert. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's just leave that feed there because it's frozen now. We'll come back to the studio. And so it was good watching all of the different flights that we had today. We don't know exactly where that is. We don't know who the flyer is. So when you come back to us, he's back again.
Jump it in the chat. Oh, look at that view.
This is like a jigsaw puzzle. You get all of these fragments of video feed. When you do come back in, let me see if I can get audio from your channel. No, we've gone to grey again. Audio, but no picture.
No signal.
Ooh. Uh-oh.
We know that sound. That's an obstacle avoidance. And then a return, yeah?
Now, even though it's glitching and pausing, I've got to watch now to see what's happening.
So that's it. If the video and the audio is synced up, which you don't know, there's definitely some stuff happening there with obstacle avoidance.
Go home.
Yep. That's a good
Low
idea.
battery warning.
There's another one. Now we really want to watch. Oh, look. Airplanes on the move.
This is sort of like sands and hourglass.
Yeah, it is.
Sands and hourglass in the days of our lives with the young and the restless.
Yes, that's right.
We've got the drama.
You always get
Exactly.
the twitch, don't you? Low battery warning, coming home.
Yeah.
Everything kicks in. You know,
We'll switch back if we get it back on screen.
For those that know the DJI app well, there's a way to silence your alarms, of course, once you're on a low battery return to home. And so, check that out and touching the battery symbol, double click, and you can kill your alarms. You'll still get the screen advisories. But if you
really make it.
if you don't like the alarm going while you're trying to concentrate on your landing, you can always mute that once it's gone off. Just don't forget about it.
Well, yeah, you definitely don't want to forget. I want to see the landing now.
Well, we might get a clip of the landing. We'll know where we are. We're landing in a backyard. And, of course, if it stays grey, we know what happened. That'll
Okay.
be... Yeah. There we go. A little bit
Yeah,
more.
Age Ranger says too much grass for Nevada. He's right.
Yeah, right.
Okay, whose face are we going to see?
We're making it home.
Does anyone know that house?
I think we made it home safely. That's good. Yeah, there he is.
Who is it?
It's a dog.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
my
Lloyd's. Yeah. Okay,
Yeah, man.
who's the pilot? Does
That
anyone
is-
recognise that mug?
Landing.
Yeah, I think it's Recovery Drone.
Recovery drone.
Dre. Yeah, Dre. A recovery drone. I
Okay.
think that's. Yep, it's Dre Recovery Drone.
He's on the ground.
Yeah.
Okay, well, if you can hear us now, when you get a moment, go and type into chat where you were and what you were doing and what you're flying, etc. That'd be cool.
He actually said he was in. He actually said California, the Cajon Pass, Route 66. So that's
Okay,
There you
that's
go.
him.
yeah, that was him. Yeah.
Okay, well,
Go pay your internet bill.
oh yeah. He's obviously using NBN.
No, it's good. It's good to have a try. You know, sometimes we get good feed, other times we don't. And you know, as I say, that when the tech works, it's great fun. But we just love skipping around, seeing live feed. It's great fun.
Yeah. See, his problem was he was flying out in California. That's why this feed was sketchy like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, California.
I
It'll
knew
do
that
that
was
to you.
coming.
Yeah.
I knew that was coming.
Everything is sketchy coming out of there.
Okay. So we've reached that time where we've finished everything that we've got here today. I normally would send you a few pieces of info. Number one, if you would like to participate in this, we do this once a month, and we do it the weekend after First Friday on Ready Set Drone. So whenever you see First Friday will be the week after that. That's the first piece of info. And if you want to send us anything, upload at gregkunert.com. If you'd like to send any links, we'll include that on the show. And if you are watching on Ready Set Drone, here's the shameless plug. I'd love you to come and subscribe to my channel as well. So Lloyd is going to go and post a link in the Ready Set Drone channel to come over and watch Oz by Drone if you liked what we were doing today. That's all I've got. John, any last words or comments from you?
No, good fun. Thanks for everybody had a fly that flew today and great flying. Lovely to skip around, as I said, and see other parts of the world. And look, next time I think I'm going to get my machine ready so we can have some Australia content into the mix. So there you go.
That would be good. And Lloyd?
Did say it was San Bernardino, which is the area that I was talking about.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's all we've got time for. It's been fun having you here, as always. Make sure you leave a comment in the video after it's finished posting. That'll help the good old YouTube algorithm to find us a little bit better. But thanks for watching. Thanks for being part of the show. See you next time. Bye for now.
See you, everybody.